You think she's into it. You think she's close. But deep down, something feels off. She's moaning, but it sounds a little rehearsed. She's touching you, but not pulling you closer. Here's a hard truth. Most women, not some, not a few, most women have faked it at least once. And not because they don't care about you, but because they do. They don't want to hurt your ego. They don't want to explain something that might make you feel inadequate. But that silence, that pretending, slowly builds a wall between you and real intimacy. So today, we're going to break that wall down. We're talking about the 5 biggest mistakes that stop women from reaching orgasm. And trust me, even the most confident, loving men make these mistakes without realizing it. But here's the good part. Every mistake you'll hear today has a solution. And once you understand them, sex will stop feeling like a performance and start feeling like a shared experience. So let's start from the beginning, where most men fail without even noticing. Mistake number 1, rushing the process, the pleasure clock myth. Let's be honest. Most men treat sex like a race. There's a start, there's a finish, and somewhere in between, pleasure is supposed to happen. But for women, pleasure doesn't follow that line. It's not linear, it's cyclical, emotional, rhythmic. Imagine you're boiling water. You can't make it boil faster by turning the heat to maximum. You'll just burn the pot. That's exactly what happens when you rush intimacy. Her body doesn't get time to build arousal. The blood flow to the clitoris and vaginal walls hasn't fully increased. Her breathing hasn't deepened, and emotionally, she's not yet in that state of surrender. Many women need between 15 and 25 minutes of consistent arousal before they can even approach orgasm. So when you rush, you're not just skipping a step, you're skipping the foundation. Real foreplay isn't just kissing and touching. It's teasing, patience, curiosity. It's eye contact that says, "You have all my time." When she feels that you're not in a hurry, her mind quiets. And when her mind quiets, her body finally says, yes. Rushing doesn't make you passionate. Slowing down does. Mistake number 2, ignoring the mind, emotional disconnect. Here's the second mistake, and maybe the one that causes the most silent frustration, ignoring her mind. You can be great with your hands, confident with your body, but if her mind isn't turned on, nothing else matters. A woman's biggest sex organ isn't between her legs. It's between her ears. The brain controls desire, relaxation, and orgasmic release. And if that brain is full of anxiety, insecurity, or a sense of disconnection, her body simply won't cooperate. Think of it like this. Her body has a trust switch. If she doesn't feel emotionally safe, that switch stays off. Emotional safety doesn't mean long talks or romance cliches. It means presence. When she's talking, you actually listen. When you touch her, you're not thinking about what's next. You're in that moment. The more she feels you're present, the more her body allows itself to open. This is why communication is sexy. Say what you like, ask what she enjoys. Whisper something you love about her. Not just her body, but how she makes you feel. When her mind is connected to yours, every touch amplifies. Quick question for you, and be honest with yourself. Do you think emotional connection affects physical pleasure? Type yes or no in the comments. I'm curious to see how many people truly understand this link. Mistake number 3, the one-size-fits-all approach. Here's mistake number 3, treating women's pleasure like a formula. You find something that worked once, maybe she moaned louder, and suddenly, that becomes the move. But the truth is, women's bodies are dynamic. What felt incredible yesterday might feel overstimulating or dull today. Hormones change, stress levels change, emotions shift, and with them sensitivity, desire, and focus change too. The biggest turn-on for most women isn't a specific touch. It's being explored anew each time. Curiosity says, what do you want tonight? What kind of pace feels right now? Do you want to be touched softly, or do you want intensity? Those questions don't kill the mood, they build it, because they tell her that her experience matters. The moment a woman feels like sex is something being done with her instead of to her, everything changes. Don't be a routine. Be an explorer. Which one do you think men struggle with most? Rushing, emotional disconnect, or assuming all women are the same? Drop your guess in the comments. I'll pin the most insightful one. Mistake number 4, neglecting the clitoris, the real power source. Let's talk about biology, the part that so many people still misunderstand. Around 75% of women cannot orgasm through penetration alone. Not because they're broken, not because you're doing something wrong, but because the majority of their pleasure comes from the clitoris. The clitoris has over 8,000 nerve endings, double the amount of the male organ. But those nerves don't just exist on the surface. They extend deep inside, wrapping around the vaginal canal like roots of a tree. When you focus only on penetration, you're stimulating only part of that system. But when you include clitoral attention, slow, rhythmic, consistent touch, you're activating the whole network. Here's the secret. Consistency beats intensity. You don't need to go harder or faster. You need to stay in rhythm. Watch her breathing. Her breath will tell you more than her words. Short breaths mean tension. Deep, long exhales mean she's opening. Learn to dance with her body, not against it. Because when the clitoris is respected, the rest of her body joins in. And that's when orgasm becomes inevitable. Mistake number 5, pressure and performance anxiety. And finally, the mistake that ruins even the most passionate nights, pressure. Pressure to perform. Pressure to make it happen. But the moment you start thinking, I have to make her come, you've already left the moment. Women feel that pressure in your breathing, your rhythm, your silence. Suddenly, it's no longer about connection. It's about expectation. And the paradox is this. The more you try to make it happen, the less likely it is to happen. Because orgasm isn't a task, it's a surrender. Your best nights will always be the ones where you stop focusing on the outcome and start focusing on the experience. Instead of asking, did she finish? Ask, did she feel loved? Because when she feels truly safe and seen, her body will take care of the rest. Breaking free, from mistakes to mastery. All right, we've talked about what goes wrong. Now let's talk about what makes it right. How do you actually create a space where orgasm becomes natural, not forced? It starts long before the bedroom. It starts with communication. Talk about sex when you're not having it. Ask her about what she likes, what she's curious about, what makes her feel desired. These conversations build anticipation and emotional safety, both crucial for pleasure. Then, in the bedroom, stop treating sex like a movie scene. Forget about what you've seen or read. Focus on reality, her reality. Take time. Create atmosphere. Light, scent, tone, temperature. All of it affects arousal. Women often need to feel invited into their own pleasure. That invitation is your patience. Don't ask, are you close? Ask, do you feel good right now? Small difference, huge impact. The healthiest sexual relationships are built on play, exploration, laughter. Not pressure, not perfection. Because great sex isn't something you do to someone. It's something you build with them. The bigger picture, why this matters. When you break these 5 patterns, rushing, emotional disconnect, repetition, neglect, and pressure, you're not just improving sex. You're healing trust. You're deepening connection. You're creating a space where your partner can be fully herself, body, mind, and emotion. And that's when sex stops being physical and becomes something far more powerful, transformative. You'll notice it in how she looks at you, how she touches you when no one's watching. Because when a woman feels truly safe to feel, she doesn't just open her body, she opens her soul. So tell me, which one of these 5 mistakes do you think most men make without even realizing it? Drop your thoughts below. I actually read the comments, and your stories might help someone else wake up too. And if this video helped you understand something new about intimacy, make sure to subscribe, because in the next video, we're going deeper into how to rebuild sexual trust after these mistakes. Remember, intimacy isn't about performance. It's about presence. This is Intimora, where real connection begins.